Hello there guys, and welcome back to the channel. So in today's video we're going to be talking about Hitmonkey and what are my opinions. Now in today's video I will not be going over all of the Hitmonkey's abilities, because I'm sure if you are interested in Hitmonkey and watching this video, you probably either have read his abilities already or you will not do it up until he comes, and you're just going to rely on the information presented in front of you. Additionally, I think there are plenty of other YouTube videos who go over ability sets word for word, and that is not the intention of this video. This video is going to be about what I think, where I think he will lie, whether I think he's going to be a meta character for like an endgame Act 6 Alliance War Alliance quest, or whether I think he's going to be another Medicore addition to contest in 2020. Right, so first things first, prestige and class. So he has a decent prestige. I think it's somewhere in like top 20. It's nothing record breaking, but it's certainly respectable, so that's good. Now he's a skill class character, and as a skill class character he basically will have access to a lot of crits and a lot of bleed, just like majority of the skill class champions do. Now he has two modes, and you can kind of like pick and choose in between each of them relatively easily, and then he gains different abilities, whether you're going to have access to true damage or whether you're going to have ability to prevent opponents evade. And he has ways to access critical hits relatively easily just by basically doing a medium combo. So you're going to have guaranteed 3 crits, which will also place a bleed debuff on opponent and kind of like get your gameplay moving. Now all that being said, I do not think he's gonna be amazing, revolutionary, groundbreaking character. Now in my opinion, this champion has a potential at best, and that entirely depends on the numbers which he actually produces. In my opinion, this guy at best will be another Squirrel Girl or another Ronin, because that is exactly what he's a mix of. He has effectively inherited abilities of Squirrel Girl and Ronin with some small additions from, I don't know, Mole Man. Right, so the point being is he has a lot of different abilities, but none of them are overly kind of potent. He has some defensive ability accuracy reduction, which just like Ronin does, just like Squirrel Girl does. So he has some chance to prevent away, just like Squirrel Girl does. It isn't on 100%, it's not a full-on true strike, and it is something that you have to keep an eye on for. It's something that you have to work towards to activate. It's not just there, kind of like presented from the beginning of the fight. Additionally, he has a chance to shrug off damage over time debuffs and stun debuff as well. But again, you need to be in a certain mode for that to happen. That means you need to be able to time your actions, and you need to execute them in time, and then you need to kind of like play everything out perfectly. So it's similar in a sense to what Ronin can do. Ronin can shrug off debuffs one at a time when you change the stances and enter the right stance, and it's certainly handy, but it's just not good enough in many different scenarios where you have to deal with either too many debuffs or whether you have no control of the timing of these debuffs being applied. Now when it comes to him shrugging off stun, it's kind of similar in a sense. It's nowhere near potent, just like Nick Fury would be stun immune, period. It's a conditional stun immunity or the ability to shrug off stun that you need to keep your eye on for, and it would be much more similar to Emma Frost being stun immune in diamond form but not telepath form, except Emma Frost arguably has easier time managing because you only need to pay attention to the power levels, and here you actually need to know when to land the combo, what mode to activate, and then make sure that that mode doesn't expire before the stun triggers in, for instance, an encroaching stun. So there certainly will be use against that, but in itself it's not going to be the easiest thing to execute, and it's not going to be the thing that you will 100% be able to rely on, for instance, like you can with Nick Fury. When you use Nick Fury against encroaching stun, you just don't care about that node. Now another kind of comparison that I have heard people make would be with Corvus Glaive, and here I actually got kind of angry about it, because yes, he has access to guaranteed critical hits, but he has none of the things that actually make Corvus great, and critical hits is just one of them. For instance, he does not have immunity, or the fact that he doesn't take damage, for instance, from shock or bleed debuffs. In fact, he is not immune to absolutely anything. He does have ability to shrug off the debuffs. I do not know if that will interact well with Suicide Masteries, but even if it does, at best it will place him at a level of, let's say, Ronin when it comes to suicide compatibility, but nowhere close to champions like Ghost Corpse or Omega when it comes to handling Suicide Masteries. There are no immunities, as I said before. Additionally to that, his access to evade prevention is conditional. With Corvus, you activate it once and then it follows you throughout the entire quest, and it's active from the first hit in the fight till you run out of charges or the fight is over. Here, his ability to prevent evades would be much more similar to that of the Squirrel Girl, where you can effectively prevent evade if you spam your level 1s and then activate the right mode and then keep an eye that your timer doesn't expire mid-combo or something like that. So he will be able to prevent evades, but it's not going to be kind of like guaranteed. It's not going to be something you can put out of your mind and simply not worry about. Additionally, what else makes Corvus great, for instance, is his awakened ability and ability not to die from any damage over time debuffs or passive degens or anything of that type. Hitmonkey just doesn't have anything remotely valuable to that. Additionally, Corvus's ability to crit on blocks quite often comes in handy to stretch his damage output, or quite often to prevent opponents' abilities from triggering. You can just strike opponent's block and win fights that way. Now, Hitmonkey's crits are conveniently disabled on upon striking opponent's block. So to me, it seems that yes, Hitmonkey has access to guaranteed crits, but none of the other benefits. Additionally, one of the great things about Corvus is the fact that he does not care about any of the opponent's immunities. He has all of his damage from his base attack, so Corvus does not care if opponent is shock, incinerate, bleed, poison, or whatever else immune. Now, Hitmonkey obviously is going to be more so hindered in any bleed matchup because a substantial portion of his damage will come from bleed debuffs. So I think in conclusion, I personally feel that expecting Corvus out of Hitmonkey, or equivalent of Corvus, would be extremely unfair and unjust to Hitmonkey, because that's extremely high amount of kind of like praise and things to live up to, and I just pretty much can guarantee you he won't, because he doesn't really have any of the utility that Corvus does have. At best, he will have the damage. And that kind of like lands me again to the Squirrel Girl Ronin comparison, where those champions are perfectly fine, and that's nothing wrong with those champions. They're fun. And not every champion has to be a game-breaking, amazing, insane character. But I genuinely, at best, expect Hitmonkey to have mediocre to a great damage output, and in case if he does happen to a great damage output, then he will be a fun champion to play. But even with his damage output potentially being good, having no reliable utility such as it is will pretty much mean that he's definitely not going to be a Q hero, because he's not overly sustainable. Definitely at the first glance, he's not going to be Alliance War attacker. He does have some abilities that make him annoying on defense, so he's going to be a relatively decent defender, I feel. And he definitely does not have the stuff that's needed for majority or special niche path in Act 6. Now, he will obviously, if he has good damage output, be able to do some lanes in Act 6. Just like Squirrel Girl, just like Ronin, but those are the lanes that many other champions can do, and those ability to do a basic simple lane does not make a champion great. Ability to do the hard ones, ability to do many of them, is what makes Ghost great, is what makes Corvus great, is what makes Omega great, and there simply is no reason to believe currently that Hitmonkey will be that champion. Again, he will probably be a really fun champion, though. I do think he will have really cool animations. He looks sick, he looks interesting, and eventually at some point down the line, when he gets added like featured 5-star hero crystal, I would absolutely love to get my hands on him. But even if the situation in game currently would not be the way it is, I would not be actively trying to acquire him, because I don't see any potential value Hitmonkey could add to my roster or to any kind of like reasonably leveled / ranked up roster. In all honesty, I kind of feel like if you are absolutely stoked about Hitmonkey and you potentially have Ronin and Squirrel Girl, in some aspects you might just be better ranking up those champions and having fun with them, because yeah, this is kind of like another champion that seems to be a jack of all trades, master of none, and it's okay, I guess. It's just kind of continuing in the trend of 2020, when we don't have overly excellent champions and we have okay or decent champions. And yeah, I mean, it is what it is. Now when it comes to his synergies, whether there's anything interesting in his synergies, there is the one that is with Rocket Raccoon, Squirrel, or Beast, where Hitmonkey can gain access to armor break debuffs, and the whole thing obviously will make him synergize quite well with the Spell Mastery, because he will have access to bleed and thus further increase his damage output. But again, these Rocket Raccoon, Squirrel Girl, and Beast will not be typically the champions you would want to bring in Act 6 or Alliance War, for instance, right? So the synergy will be fun to play around with, and he's probably going to be absolutely excellent champion to smash out non-collected quest. But when push comes to shove, these things are not going to be that will make like Hitmonkey amazing or incredible. And that is, in my opinion, another thing that I wanted to quickly mention. It's cool that a lot of older champions are getting quote-unquote buffs in form of synergies, but at the same time, if you need to bring in a Black Bolt or OG Spider-Man or Rocket Raccoon with a champion to make them like better or great, then that is a lot to ask in kind of like Act 6 or Alliance War. And realistically, most of these synergies will kind of like, outside of some specific showcases or just having fun, will never really be used, or those synergies have to be incredibly good. And by incredibly good, I mean kind of like Sabertooth Omega Red synergy or Hood and Ghost synergy, and there is just not that much potential here. So I guess I have to apologize. I wish I could have hyped you guys up for Hitmonkey, because he does look cool. He does look like somebody that I would absolutely enjoy playing with. But when it comes, yeah, to actual contribution to your account and your account progression, I don't think there will be too much in this guy. Now, I will not make Tigra video today. I will leave that for tomorrow, because it's getting quite late, and yeah, quite honestly, I'm just a bit knackered. Now, all that being said, I'm glad that you guys have stuck around for the video, and if you have, then well, here's my face. And after that, here's Baby Yoda drinking from his sippy cup. And as you are looking at Baby Yoda, do not forget to hit that like button, hit that sub button, hit all of the buttons, and I will catch you guys soon. And yeah, that is me done for now, and see ya.